For the fans, by the fans. Welcome to the only Angels postgame show that keeps it real, win or lose. No filters, no fluff, just raw reactions right after the final out. The Golden Stamos is polished up and somebody's about to take it home. A clutch hit, a game-saving grab, or just straight-up hustle. We see you, but if you played like trash, you're getting the dreaded Nacho Night Award. We saw the missed calls, we saw the blown saves, the clutch moments, and the disasters too. Your comments are front and center, and yeah, we read all of them. Wanna let loose? Call in and sound off live. No scripts, no suits, no spin. This is raw, this is real, this is where the fans take over. This is the Heady Postgame Show with Todd Fox. For the fans, by the fans.
I'm a fox. My name's Todd.
Hey, welcome into another episode of the Halos and the Infields post-game show. Just a few hours late. Again, I don't live in my mom's basement, so I work a 9 to 5 like most of you, and or go to school. And yeah, so got off late today, had some things to take care of, but I'm here. And even though it's been a long time since the game's been finalized, about pretty much 8 hours ago, but it better late than never, right? And we're by the fans, for the fans, for the fans, by the fans. We're in the stands with you. That's what separates this great podcast from all the other posers out there, which I will call posers, that they don't know baseball. They've never played the game. They don't know how to throw a baseball like me and you. They don't know the intricacies of the game. And yeah, it is what it is. But that's why we give you the best format. We give you the most feedback. We go back and forth here, the most interaction, right? And we give you more effort, it seems like, than our own Angels on the field as the Angels fall and get swept by the New York Yankees. I will say this, everybody, as I will catch up on the comments. If you're new to the show, I read all the comments as we go along. We interact. If you have a question, let me know. We get into the awards. We go over the game, everything that went on today. We'll talk about it, and we'll all go through it together. As I think it was painfully obvious from the get-go today that this was a throw-in-the-towel game. And I hate to say that I was right, but I'm going to say that I was right. Because after they blew the game against the Mets on Monday, I had a very, very good feeling that they were going to lose the entire series. I even said it on this post-game show. I said, you know what, man? Game one, I really don't feel this at all. I said it on here. It just feels like this is a gut punch, and I don't think that this team is ready yet. I don't think they've taken the next step to become winners, and winners can bounce back. Winners can turn the page. And leaders, we've said it before, Mike Trout would tell these guys, don't get too high after a big win, and don't get too low after a big loss. You got to find that in between. You got to have that even kill, and you got to turn the page. And I think that's why he had so much success pre-analytics. And there are no leaders like they say on TikTok right now. I think it's 72. And what's up, MGB? Yeah, and everybody else who's on here right now, Angels Suck. What's up, my boy? Everybody on YouTube. Man, we don't have any leaders. We don't have anybody that's going to kick anyone's ass, yell, throw chairs, stuff like that. And it doesn't always have to be like that, but you need leadership, whether it's lead by example or lead by voice and by just sheer, chemistry. Get a chemistry going and get a culture together. And I don't think they have that at all. And after they lost game one against the Mets and the way they lost it, I don't think that they had any chance those last two games. And they actually played better than I thought they would with Kyle Hendricks. But today was such a slap in the face of you and myself, because in the media, they were talking about when the second half of the season started, where the Angels were and how they needed to really come out and take every game seriously. And the quote being from Ray Montgomery, taking every game seriously, really stuck in my mind, because I'm like, why weren't you taking all the games seriously? And then I just ignored that one and was like, you know what? Okay, they're going to go really, they're going to go hard in the second half. And what do they do to me and you? They come out and say bullpen game. So you had 4 fucking days to reset the entire rotation, and you decide to go bullpen game, which you bitched all year long about how we can't do it because, we're going to waste these guys' arms and stuff like that. We're not built for that. And yes, they're not built for that. And I would love for these StatCast nerds in the Poser Network, if I could give them one assignment, it would be, why don't you actually go out there and take a what is it called? Why don't you go out there and you actually use your poserness and use a StatCast or your Nerdcast and find out what's the record with teams that actually use openers or bullpen games, because it can't be freaking good. It really can't be good at all. The realization and the way that we use the opener is a losing freaking strategy. The way that we go bullpen is a losing strategy. I think everyone got so worked up over last year when the Dodgers did that against the Padres and it actually worked for some reason in Game 5. They forget the Dodgers had to pitch starters in 6 and 7. But that's my whole point. It really rarely works. So why do you do it? And there was a time period where a lot of teams, if not all the teams in the league, were doing it. And it wasn't working. And so it's a dying concept. And yet the Angels are just now getting it. And they're like, wow, let's try this new opener and bullpen stuff. It's so stupid. So again, I'll bring this up before I get into the comments. I don't understand if you're taking every game seriously and you want to win every game and you want to try to get to the next level and try to compete and be in the wild card and try to make an opportunity to buy some players at the deadline, you should be playing your best weapons out there. And granted, the Angels aren't stacked like all these teams. And granted, they don't have a 7-game lead. They're not in first place in the wild card. So when you're teetering on being irrelevant, you need to come with it every night. You can't be doing bullshit lineups, and you can't be using the bullpen the way that they are, which is, oh, this guy can only go a third of an inning right here. That's it. He's shut down. You can't do that. It's all hands on deck. It's play your best cards. It's fight for every pitch, right? Instead, the Angels are like bullpen day. It doesn't make – so if you're going to send down Kowanowitz, you should have someone ready to go. It's not that hard to understand. If you're playing a video game, do you leave an open roster spot on your team? No, you don't. So I don't understand why you would freaking just have no idea who's going to pitch that spot where Kowanowitz is. I don't understand why you just got to be like, oh, it's a bullpen game. And then, of all things, so last time you started Zephyr John in the game, right? And you finished it out, I think, with Eder or something, right? You did the same thing in this game. So just so I understand what's going on, you don't have Stevenson, you don't have Ben Joyce, and yet you decide, okay, 2 guys who are potential setup guys, 7th and 8th inning guys. Yeah, let's start those guys in a game that, who knows, maybe we'll be in a tight game in the lead, and we need to hold that lead. And 2 of our best relievers, debatable, are openers. Like, we start with Brock, a guy who's been solid, hasn't given up a run in 20 innings, and you're like, nah, let's start him. And then so you waste him after 1 inning, and then you go, Bachman's been pretty good too. Yeah, he'll take the 2nd inning. And then you're like, Eder sucks, let him go 4. It doesn't make any sense. And again, that's what the posers on the other network are like, yes, that's baseball. No, that's not. That's not baseball. Analytics has ruined the fucking team to the core. And again, while everybody was experimenting with analytics years ago, or they found the right analytics that fits their team, the Angels seem to just be dipping their grimy hands into it right now. And it's not working. The joke is on us, number 72 says. Also, we're not the Dodgers, and we're in a middle of July. Stupid moves. Artie Moreno needs to sell this team. No legit manager. No legit chance of playoffs. Agreed. And again, you have a 13-game homestand, which is going to obviously some people are still saying make or break. It's already broken. It's broken, bro. You got to win these games, man. You can't be throwing away games. And I told you last night, what's more frustrating than anything with this Angels team is that you've been hovering around 500 for so long, and the American League has just been sitting there helping you out, keeping you in things this entire time. And had you gone on any kind of run, you would be in a way better position. Now you're sitting there 5 games out of the wild card. The Twinkies are tied with you. The Royals are a half game ahead of you. The shit fucks are almost 3.5 games ahead of you, or 2.5. I'm sorry. 3.5 is the Rays, and the same thing with the Rangers. But you're 5 back, and you got to jump 5 baseball teams to get to that wild card. That's not great. It doesn't seem, the law of averages in your favor are not there. It's not there. So what happened in the game today? Like I said, stupid ass starting pitching, coming down to let's use our bullpen in a bullpen game. You start Burke, he gives up a home run early. So it's 1-0. So he allows his first run in a while. Then you have Bachman in there for 2 hits in an inning. And then you throw Eder for 98 pitches, just mop-up duty, 5 runs, 7 hits, 7 strikeouts. Not bad in 6 innings for a guy who's not that good. But again, Angels left 9 men on base, went 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. So the hitting let him down again. But again, what kind of strength or what kind of character does this team have when blowing a game like they did in game 1 and not having the testicle fortitude to come back in game 2? They couldn't scratch no offense against a very weak Montas, and then you go here against a weak pitcher again in Manaea and a bullpen not all that great outside of Diaz, and they lock you down the rest of the game. And then you could say, okay, well, it was a strike zone, Todd. The strike zone was bad. Well, then make up for it. Adjust. You know, you've seen it before. You know it by the 3rd inning, the second time around the order. You know the umpiring sucks. So why bitch about it? Why not just say, hey, we got to make adjustments. We got to swing the other way. We got to bunt. We got to get more aggressive. You know, when he's giving the corners, swing at it. So I don't understand what is the difference with this team. How come they can't adjust? Well, that's just not the Angel way. So you're going to spin your wheels the rest of the game and just be like, okay, fine, whatever. And it is what it is. Mike says, did you see the article about us being buyers? Like, what the fuck would we be buyers on what planet? And again, if this is 2010 Angels, 2012 Angels, where we have a legit minor league system, okay, I get it. We're going to be buyers. We have a chance of being buyers. But no, we're not. And the rest of the league looks at us like...
You serious?
Yeah. Are we serious? Apparently not. But see, what happened to me is this is me when I see the analytics and they go with a bullpen. I don't understand these bullpen days. Again, if you have the balls to send a guy down that's been in your rotation all year, whether good or bad, shouldn't there be a backup plan ready? No, us Angel fans look at the starting rotation today and we're like, yep. Oh my God. You saw the cameo right there. And it's not a good plan.
That was the plan. Not a great plan.
Exactly. It's not a great plan. See, I got some new little cuts right there I wanted to show. So I had to show those off and work those in. Sorry. Brandon says, I feel you. I'm the same way with my Braves. But Brandon, here's the thing, Brandon, you've had injuries. And your team, credit to your team, is good. They've been relevant the last few years. They've been to the postseason. They won a world championship. I know you're not having the year that you want, and that's fine. Things like that will happen. And I'll tell you one thing, the Braves and their failures this season will not go very long. It won't be a stretch where they're going to be out of the playoffs. So, Brandon, I appreciate your sympathy towards the Angels, but I will just say better things are coming to your organization faster than it will ours. You still got a loaded team. You should be telling us this.
Oh no! What happened? Oh no! How terrible! That's just awful! How terrible! Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no! Indeed, I still got that cough. Wardy needs to be traded. At this point, again, I think it's going to be so frustrating. So we're going to do this. We're going to do this trade deadline show on next Thursday. I guarantee you we're going to be on the air for 2-3 hours, right? And we're going to live stream all the breaking news and trades. I guarantee you the Angels will find a way to buy, and Taylor Ward will be here for another year. And all these guys will not be traded, and we are going to lose them in free agency. That's the Angel way, man. Until we get new ownership, until we get people upstairs in the office that actually know what they're talking about and know what they're doing, we're going to be spinning our wheels again. And it's going to be frustrating because every year we get our hopes up like a little kid for Christmas, only to be told that Santa's not real. The Archangel says Angels should just be in Bakersfield to work the strawberries fields this season. There's going to be time for that. Diego says, you know what, man, I need a drink. And he caps it off. I think this is Diego's first appearance. And his first appearance is straight up with a spritz.
Yeah! I love winning, man. I fucking love winning. You know what I'm saying? But better than losing.
Spritz o'clock, Angels play. Win or lose, we toast today. Sip and cheer, no matter score. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more.
I love winning, man. I fucking love winning. You know what I'm saying?
If the Angels are somehow at 500, do you see us trading major prospects like Dana? Yes, because then they would panic. They would definitely panic, and they would definitely go into preservation mode. And so, yes, but I don't see that happening. This team is now 4 games under. They'd have to sweep Seattle. Man, it's pathetic. It's pathetic how they played today. It's pathetic how they played in this series. Dan Rio says, there you are. Thought you forgot about the game. I will tell you this, everybody that's on right now, I won't be on tomorrow. If you want to check out the backup and the bullpen, I'm going to the righty. I'm going to Rob. I'm going to be out of town, kid's birthday. So Rob will be on tomorrow doing the post-game show. So there you have it. I will be back after that. But there you go. Grillmaster says, I'm irrationally pissed off at this game. Jesus says, thought you were going to have a mulligan for today's shit show of a game. I was thinking about it, but after everything today, I was like, why not? Let's do it. The umpire today has me up in arms. Fire him. It is what it is. They're not making a challenge for their overall stay in the league, because I guarantee you the pitch machine is a-coming. The Angels suck, or he reposted. Thank you so much. Luke Johnson says, what's up, Todd? What's up, my man? By the way, those shirts are on their way. I think you ordered those shirts. They're coming. We just had a little snag there with the machine, but they already were in the mail. So hopefully you get them soon here. Let's see. Dan Rio says to the Yankees, no, we lost to the Mets. How many times have I met a Dodger fan that were Angel fans from last season? Too many times. Angel sucks is painful. Oh, also, maybe time to find an actual 5th starter. That's going to be a job for next year. Chris says we would have won if it were the Yankees. Jesus says they had balls being called strike 3. Yeah, there was a lot of pitches that were questionable. But again, I'm not going to put this one on the umpire alone. You still got to try to protect the plate. If the first or second time it's through and they're still calling stupid pitches like that, you got to know that you're going to have an erratic, umpire out there, and you got to start swinging. So adjustments is what the Angels don't do. Player of the game tonight. I mean, there's not many players. Angels 3 runs on 5 hits. They scored their runs by Trout home run and Renifo getting into a fielder's choice to make it 6-2. Then Taylor doubled to right. Taylor Ward had a very nice road trip. That's for sure. 12 RBIs for him. Raised his average up to 232. That still sucks, but it's still way better than what it was. But still, man, I mean, a tough game for the Angels all the way around. I will say this though. I'm gonna give the Nachos. Well, there's just I'm gonna give the Nachos to Neto and Shonawell going 0 for 9 total with only a walk. You got to get better production from the 1 and 2 guys, especially those guys that are batting 275 and 273 collectively. And then a player of the game. This podcast or this post game show is a little bit modified since it won't be a long one. But yeah, and then as far as player of the game, I have to give it to Manaea only because he's not a good pitcher, but 1 run on 2 hits, making his return. Only 2 walks and 5 strikeouts. It's not a great start, but it's a good. But it's symbolic for him coming off an injury in a way. So I'm going to give the cheap Golden Stamos to him. Also, Patrick says, "Moan's a pleasure, baby. Balls in my mouth." You got to love that, right? Because
time for you to check out what I want. I want
balls and
John Stamos.
Not a great plan.
I love that. Not a great plan. Luke Johnson says, let's see, someone is a dumbass. Perry really about to get a chance to hire his 4th manager. 4th. Yeah, 4th manager indeed. I don't think they fire him. I really don't. I think Perry keeps his job. Jesus says maybe the players are starting to have NBA players mentality, 1, 2, 3 Cancun. Boy, oh boy, do the Laker fans have a good memory. I mean, that whole Nick Van Exel thing, man, people really have a hard time. His career was ruined after he said those words. Could you see Soriano being an ace for the Angels? I feel like he's got that potential and he shows it. 100%. 100%. I think he can be an ace. A lot of people don't think so, but he has the shit to perform. It's just he's got to find a way to land that sinker ball and consistently. And if he can't, the other thing he's got to do is when he's not feeling it in the game, he's not hitting the strike zone. He's got to have an out pitch. He's got to have that emergency pitch to get him over, whether it's a sweeper, whether it's a knuckle curve, whether it's a fastball. He's got to pinpoint it and keep it down. If he does that and doesn't panic, I think he could be a really, really good pitcher. Really good pitcher. And possibly the ace. If not, it's Kikuchi right now. Patrick Carrillo says a bullpen game is a guaranteed loss. I can't agree even more, dude. Anyway, why the hell did we come out of the All-Star break with a bullpen game in Philly? LOL. That's because they didn't set their rotation, apparently, even though you had 4 days to reset it. Even Gooby's like, hey, this is not a good idea. I think they should have started their rotation all over. Christian says we need to sell. Our guys are fun to watch, but the writing is on the wall. It absolutely is, Christian. The umpire strike zone was terrible today, JL. Blondie says, hey, I remember Artie not doing what he should for the Angels for years. It's just sad. Yeah, it's been every year. Every year that asshole continues to just be the one that is to blame. And, we got the perfect video for it.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. I'm the problem. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. I'm the problem. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem.
Still looking at that picture, I don't know how a wrinkly man in his late 70s has such good skin around his chest. I've always, when that graphic comes up, I always wonder how does he do it? How does he stay so youthful? The Angels suck says, and a W after a bullpen game is pure luck. Absolutely. Someone needs to be fired. Where's drunk Artie? Dan wants to know. Tyler says, how's Kiwanowitz doing in the minors? I expect bad news. Well, guess what? You won't be disappointed. He hasn't been great. He hasn't even pitched over 5 innings down there. Stop making excuses for the umps. Make adjustments. Absolutely. Winford says Trout deserves a ring. Yeah, we said that years ago when they had an opportunity to build a team around him, but they didn't do it. So right now it's like the best he can do is being that aged veteran. And if he really wants a ring, which I don't think he cares to have one, if he really, really wanted one, he would have demanded a trade. I get it. You wanted to be loyal to this team, but you've given over 10 years of your career to this team. And whether you want to say it's injury that took you away, I doubt it, because you got injured when the Angels weren't good. So your best years were wasted by this organization. So it's a fact. And when it comes down to it, if you really, really want a World Series championship, my man, it's time to ask for your release. It really is. Also, why are the Angels tickets under $30? It still don't get filled out because, again, you have to put a good team on the field. And again, we're not going to go every night for a giveaway. And if we do, then that we get the giveaway, but we get tickets way cheaper than $30, homie. I don't know where you're looking, but 714 Tickets is a place to go if you want tickets. Use our promo code HITI every time, not just the first time, like those jackasses on the other podcast. They're like, hey, sign up for our thing and you get to use it on our website one time. No, you can use it every freaking time, HITI, and you can get 10% off of your tickets. So it doesn't have to go for just Angel tickets. It goes for basketball, goes for college, goes for anything, goes for out of state. 714 Tickets. Apply now, code HITI. I like your handle, by the way. You're fucked. I love that. Also, doesn't make sense. 13-game winning streak he's calling for. I applaud Ray and Laker for getting tossed, for showing emotion and getting tossed. And that's true. I mean, I like the fact that they were tossed. It was awesome. But again, what did that do? It didn't motivate anybody. Joseph said, I'm late to the live, but we are fans crashing out yet. Well, it might as well be. You might as well crash out if you're really hardcore thinking this team's going to make the playoffs. Again, I think a gigantic step would be getting to 500, and that still looks unreachable the way they're playing. They still need to finish 81-81. I would love for them to get there. That would be a big improvement from last year. Postseason was sounding good there for a little while, but this team is showing you exactly what they're made of, and that's not much. Your fuck says tickets only go up when they play the Dodgers and the Yankees. Don't forget the Yankees. Also, Big Red says, if anyone had played for any collegiate baseball, the first thing you know is how wide the strike zone is or how tight it is. You take pitches and you adjust. You dig in closer to the plate. You choke up, all that stuff. Big Red is 100% right. You don't sit there and you don't just pretend like he's not going to call the same pitch, a foot off the plate for a strike. If he's already done it once, he's going to do it again. JL says, I would hire a Skip Schumacher type dude. We'll see who's available this year, and we'll see if they take peanuts, because that's the only way they'll get hired. Same shit, different year, 11 years of this shit. 10 years in a way, because their last season that they won was 2015 with a winning record. Big Red says, choke up on that bat, man. Hit the ball oppo into the zone wide. Yeah, exactly. Also, oh no, what happened? The Mets asked us. Yeah, the Mets were just like this.
Oh no. What happened? Oh no, how terrible. That's just awful. How terrible. Oh no.
And the way Ray Montgomery was managing it almost was like he was fat.
This fat son of a bitch is going to drown us all out. He's going to calm down, okay? All right? He's fat.
Yes, he is. Also, Joseph says, I feel like the defense has lacked the longer. Wash has been absent. Poor batting practice management or bullpen games. Exactly. That's terrible. Had to cuss out the team in Spanish so my kids couldn't understand. Deuces Wild says, good man. Joseph says, and Trout needs to be reminded that he's Trout. Need him to step up. I don't know if he's that dude, man. Joseph, I really don't know. You don't see the leadership in his face. He doesn't get to anybody's face. He doesn't rile up. When there's a fight, that dude is as far away from the scrum as possible. I'm going to say it. A total rebrand of the jersey and the logo is needed. And the rebrand is halfway through with the roster. And I think Ohtani being gone, some other veterans that need to go. And I want to see this young core and some other new pieces come through the system and some free agents coming in and some depth pieces for next season. It sucks talking next season, but at least we're talking next season close to August. Not like last year was like end of May. But I think for this team to turn the page completely, we need a manager to actually bring in a winning culture, number one. And number two, they need to turn the page on Trout. I really feel that, again, it's one thing to be loyal, but loyalty has already been, like, I think he's already paid for himself. We already know he's loyal. There's nothing more to prove when it comes to that. I think what needs to happen is he needs to find greener pastures, and he needs to go to a team that's going to be in the playoffs. And let's see what Trout can do. Maybe he finds his fountain of youth, and I won't hate on him. The only way I'll hate on Trout is if he goes to the Dodgers. But even if he goes to the Yankees, even if he goes to the Red Sox, I'll still root for him. I will still be the biggest Trout fan out there. I'll be like, hell yeah, let's do it, man. Let's come through in the clutch. And I'll want him to dial it back to like 2016, 17. But man, oh man, I think the days, I just don't see the need for keeping him. I would say it's time to give the kids their opportunity. It's time to add players around them and let Trout move on to greener pastures. I think it's just time. I just don't see, because to me I just put that in the category of keeping him as spinning our wheels. Christian says season is over. Sell and at the deadline. Neto is your leader. Bring back the old school uniforms with some different hat options. I like that. Caldwell says Trout just wants to go about his business and be left alone. Wish he had a little more leadership. Man, that pretty much describes him right now. Brandon says, I think it's time to let Trout go. KC says bad defense and base running mistakes. Swole says he can pop up to first in clutch situations. Trade Soler, Johan, Trout, Renifo. We need to build off the young core. Absolutely. Can't wait for Rendon's contract to be done after next season. Theis is not sure why we released Moniak for literally zero. And who's taking on Trout's contract? Well, Christian, the only way that would happen is if Trout, first of all, said, okay, I'm taking out my no trade clause. That's number one. And number two, the Angels would have to eat half of that. So that's why I don't think it's going to happen. Then to top it off, the Dodgers get saved by the ump on strike 3 call and eventually walked it off. Dead says 500 is social construct, but success is a mindset. There you go. Dead also says, at least FanDuel, I heard the are we all gender joke 50 times. Alex says, who gets us more in a return, Adele or Ward? I think right now Ward does. The jury's still out on Adele. At least Ward has been somewhat consistent the last 3 years. Also, Alex says, I still think they'll fucking buy. Aha, ain't no way Artie sells with a fucking ego. Exactly. He's not. Moniak is batting 275. Shake my head. He's doing so decent. Who stays if the team does decide to sell? Keep Adele and Ward, to be honest. Isaiah says, well, right now, I think obviously the young core stays. I don't think we touch O'Hoppe. I think the guys that go is Mancada. If they are going to go a full sell, it's Mancada, it's Renifo, it's Anderson. If what's his name was not hurt, like you could even have seen Stevenson go. You could have saw, there's a possibility with Cajeda coming up that he could be an option to go. There's most of your veterans are available right now. Travis d'Arnaud, guys like that would be, on the trade deadline. Because again, right now teams are looking at us like a couple weeks ago, possibly being in contention. Like, don't call the Angels, let them call you because they're going to be hunting for players. But now it's just like, wow, they got Kenley Jansen over there. We need some bullpen help. It's going to be stuff like that, dude. So also Angel Sucks says he definitely doesn't care about a ring. Trout wins his championships through the Philadelphia Eagles. Billy says Mike lights always too bright. Trout. What if we took bullpen relievers and used them as starters instead of calling up actual starters? That's what we're doing. Stephen J says, but he didn't call the same pitch in the strike zone for Zephyr John. Those pitches were anywhere near the strike zone. Egregious. They were very, I'm not saying that you're not supposed to complain, but I'm just saying you got to adjust. Like Big Red said earlier, Ray is straight up ruining it. Yep, he is ruining it.
My lips, you're ruining it. Ruining.
Dead says Angels are like the Mets of LA without the ability to win. Rob says Angels are the definition of love is blind when it comes to Trout. Stephen says the ump didn't even give the outside pitch to Eder. Those called strikes on Renifo were nowhere close to the zone. They were way off the plate. Billy says Trout's greener pasture, unfortunately, is a golf course. He did open that golf course with Tiger Woods, if you remember that. Isaiah says only way to buy is if we win the series against Seattle and Texas. And that's what's going to be the problem. I don't see it, because at some point we're going to go right back to, hey, let's go with a bullpen game. SS says no clutch Trout, hurts every time. Only way our season is saved is if we sweep one of the next two series and then win one. And the thing is that always keeps us optimistic about this team, or it keeps us like engaged, not only because our love for the team and our love for the players, our love for the stadium, our love for our friends and family who go, and the experience of being at a baseball game is unlike any other. Throw that aside. What's keeping us invested in this team is the fact that they're still close and still within striking distance of a playoff spot. And normally, if, say, for instance, this was 2000, I don't know, 10 or 11, and they're only a few games out and they have all that talent right there, you're kind of pissed off because you're like, they should be better than this. But on the flip side, with us being out of the playoff race for so long, being at least this close, and it's not even that close, being 5 games out this late in the season, we're still holding on to that hope. You know, we're like the Titanic, you know, like we're holding on to, you know, we're the chick holding on to, well, what's his name? DiCaprio, is he's barely holding on, freezing his ass off, about ready to fall off that little wooden board. You know, it's like we want him to come on the board with us because we want to save him, and that's the Angels season. But if he jumps on, it's going to sink the whole damn thing. We're both going to die. So we're going to lose him. And that could be the Angels right now. They're teetering right now is what I'm trying to say. Bad analogy, trying to make it fit. Didn't work. I know it now. But with that being said, all I'm saying is, man, we are starving for playoff baseball. So if they're anywhere close, we are trying to look at the bright spots, like, okay, today sucked. Okay, today the series sucked. But maybe, just maybe, if they come home and the announcer plays a lot of this, we could possibly win. Will the Deos get the Angels offense going? You know, and I'm being sarcastic as funk. But if we're thinking of anything and everything at this point. That's what I'm trying to say. Trade Trout to the Phillies and eat that contract. Rob says Artie won't trade Trout because of milestones he's closing in on, which will allow him to charge more. Exactly. Don't forget, he's 4 home runs away. You prefer Anaheim or California Angels? Right now, Dead, if I had to pick one, it's California. But again, both of those logos are pretty dope. I like the CA, the California. And I love, where is it? I love this one. That the A with the baseball. I mean, it's a fresh look either way. But anything but Los Angeles. And I don't like Los Angeles. SS says, I think we're just soft sell and full send it into the offseason, to be honest. You know what, SS, that's probably the way to go. You remember last year they just did bullpen pitchers. So it could be a repeat of that. That's why I said that whole special on Thursday could just be very, very annoying. Because we'll be talking about other teams making wheeling and dealing moves that actually are impressive. And then when it comes to the Angels, it'll be a whole lot of nothing. Also, you can tell Ohapi is frustrated behind the plate catching balls in the dirt or ones that get away, and he looks more pissed off than normal. What do you think is going on with that? I think he's feeling a lot of pressure because a lot of people are seeing the weaknesses in his game. I mean, look how many guys prefer to run. If you guys and gals have noticed watching the Angels play, when it comes down to Darno behind the plate, and also Ohapi behind the plate. You realize that Ohapi seems to be a second to 2 seconds late on his throws to second base when guys steal, or he's not honest doing snap throws or faking snap throws to first base. Like the other day, like they got a fly ball, and I think on a 2-0 pitch, and they were lucky that it was a fly ball because the runner was taking off. He had a big lead, and it was a pitch out, and he still had a big lead. So if they got to work pitch outs to keep base runners honest, really no one pitches out anymore. So that should tell you something. They don't believe in his instincts. I think that pitchers don't believe in his instincts. I think that he's still not that quarterback behind the home plate that they need him to be defensively. Now, offensively, I think that's hurt his game too, because whenever you have that kind of pressure on you as to be the man, or you have someone behind you knocking on the door, I mean, he's feeling the pressure, and I don't think he's performing good. Eric Ward says, if Perry and his minions actually delude themselves into thinking that we still have a shot of getting over 500, then he's more of an idiot than I already think he is. Analytics don't equal success. Amen to that, brother. No fucking way in hell that this team sweeps either Texas or Seattle, wins both series in that way as well. Just going to enjoy the young core and the promise of promise of 26 and beyond. And that's why I think a lot of us should do at some point here, whether you choose to give up now or you choose to give up at the end of the homestand or at the end of August. When Christian Moore comes up, man, let's see what that kid can do. I want to see more from him because he's awesome already. I want to continue to see this offense try to get better and score more runs because they obviously have done better than last year. I want to see a little bit more small ball, more stealing. I want to see Kyron Paris come back up this season. I want to see Neto, continue to hit milestones. I want to see Shonawell hopefully get to 300 or close to it and continue to have these nice at bats. I want to see Adele to continue to ascend defensively and offensively. And let's see what some of these young pitchers can do late in the season in August. We're going to see Clausen. I guarantee you, we're going to see Clausen. We're going to see Caden Dana. We're going to see, what is his name? Maderos. Sorry, coffee. We're going to see a couple other guys. I really do see we're going to see a couple more guys. Rada as well. So we'll see, man. Also, Andrews checks in with Artie's going to have 5 more bobblehead giveaways. That new poster card shirt was not on the bingo card either. They just added that. August and September to help with attendance. Mike Trout says Angels control their own destiny. Yeah, sure they do. Demetrio says being positive about the Angels is like being HIV positive. Artie Moreno gave the Rally Monkey AIDS. Rumors Angels could look to be buying or selling at the deadline. Do the Angels have good catching prospect? They did, Deuces Wild, and they sent him for Giolito in Cuero. Cuero is now your starting catcher in Chicago, Edward Cuero. And that dude is awesome. That dude is really good. And we had him. SS says, even if we buy at this deadline, really, who are we getting to push us into the wild card spot? Nobody. So I wouldn't do it, SS. I would not. Also, Dan says, I get the adjusting to an umpire, but those were nowhere close. Langston said he's never seen it so bad on one hitter, and it was the worst calls he's seen. And it just goes to show you, it just happens to us. Neil is the White Sox catcher. I think Cuero is as well. Dude, look it up, Jail. Cuero is on the team at least. He made it to the majors faster than he did with us. City Field has a lot of Deos. Vague says, just a heads up in the chat, Tim Salmon is out there selling dirt weed with seeds in it. Man, you've said that more times than every time you come on. We added 5 years to Frank the Tank's life this week. Also, Tim Salmon grows bunk crops and sells swag. Okay. Ohapi about to start at third all September. Now, if anything, I'd see him in the outfield. Mike Trout says, Gooby, hey, let's talk trucks. Also, Dan Rios says the California Angels logo is the better, but Anaheim has the championship. As baseball fans, we are more superstitious. Go back to Anaheim. Vlad Sr. is better than Trout. I would have to say, let's see when Trout's career is over. But right now, I'm taking Guerrero. Tyler says, are they still doing no cell phones in the clubhouse? I don't think it matters at this point. I want Rex Hudler back. Can we trade Gooby? Albert says, no pinches mommy's way. We got swept by the Mets. A la verga. Tyler says, before Gooby goes, we must get rid of freaking Patio. God, that guy sucks ass. You think Ray Montgomery gets the boot if we get swept by Seattle and Texas? No, Corey. Again, it don't matter if we wind up with 99 losses again. He'll lose. He'll be gone at the end of the year, but there's no way they're firing him right now because, again, when it comes down to it, we don't have the horses to contend right now. EQ says, what happens if we're 5 games back July 31st? You got to sell what you can. You really can. Vague says it smells worse than Bigfoot turds. Okay. Mike Trout says Angels bringing up Tyler Brenner. I don't think it happens this year. If you could put money into our next manager, who do you think we would go after? I would see the Angels actually taking a flyer on Bud Black because he's gone in Colorado. I would have loved for them to take a shot at what was the guy who coached in Pittsburgh or managed in Pittsburgh? We should have had him as a bench coach because he would be in there right now for Ron. Damn it, who was the manager over there in Pittsburgh? Damn it, what is his name? I can't remember right now. JT says we should trade Artie Moreno for cash considerations. Dude, if only there was a way. I can confirm that Tim Salmon sells trash ass Bud. Derek Shelton. Clint Hurdle. Thank you, Deuces Wild. It was Clint Hurdle. Needed to put a deal together to get Rauschman or Holiday. Again, we don't have the horses to. I would love to get a player like that, but there's no way. And thank you, Andrew, too. It was Clint Hurdle was actually going to sign with the Angels for $800,000. No, $500,000. And Artie said that was too much money. Because it was 5,000. He offered him 500,000 because he was an ex-manager, but Hurdle wanted 8, which is not bad because he is a winning manager in 2 different places, Colorado and Pittsburgh. But Artie said that was too much money, and he was not allowed to be because he would have been the bench coach. He would have been next in line, and Clint Hurdle actually right now, had Artie gave him the money, would be your manager. And I guarantee you, Mateo says it all the time. He says, man, I want a manager who would be very instructive in defense, like discipline, and just on your ass and chew you out. That guy, yeah, he didn't take shit from anybody. Yeah, so yeah, he is the bench coach for the Rockies right now. Okay, yeah, because I think he came over as a hitting instructor too. When he was Clint Hurdle was a fantastic manager. So I think he would be a good, maybe an opportunity. But I think since he didn't get the cash here the first time, he ain't going to get it next time. Some people think Skip Schumacher. A guy like Council would have been great, but he signed long-term with Chicago. I don't know. I think, if you think Artie Moreno, you put yourself in his shoes, you're going to think cheap. You're going to think cheap for sure. By the way, Deadmau5 says make Heedy hats with Nacho Monkey on the front. That would be sick. That would be cool, huh? We have a Heedy logo one. I don't have it on me right now, but we have the Heedy logo on a hat with it's actually got a red bill now, and it's like a navy blue. I'll debut those in a couple days here. We got those as well as those trucker hats. Trucker hats are cool, but if you want to get any kind of shirts or hats from us, just go to the YouTube page and you'll see the Shopify link. And we have some pretty cool shit over there. Vague says Moreno crustier than a 10-day-old French bread left out in the sun. Also, resurrect 3 goofy bat boys for the upcoming homestand. I'd love Dino as our manager. Yeah, Dino Evil never got an opportunity. Eric says, hey, we're only 4 back now. Q Bally's. It's bobblehead night Friday. Yeah, if they win a game, they're going to definitely be all about that, basically. And we're all going to be doing this.
You serious?
Yep. Never gets old, does it? I mean, as many times they play it. Dead says, is Gavin going to be at the Ohapi bowling thing? I don't know, but I don't think so because he lives like North Hollywood, Northern California, I think too. There's rumors that he lives way up there. So that little tool poser probably won't come down, but I know these guys will be there, and they were there last year, and they're going to be there this year probably.
Oh my God!
Yeah, those guys will be talking analytics. They'll be, hey, I play for a church softball league, so I know baseball. Sure you do, bud. Sure you do. Let's see. Also, Pujols for manager. Andrew says season starts tonight, baby. Yes, it does.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
Trout says Gooby was talking about batting suit last time at the homestand with Patrick. Oh my God. Take a flyer on Bieber. Yeah, the pitcher. Also, Mike Trout says, what would you do if you saw Gavin in person? I mean, there's nothing. I mean, he doesn't say anything on over there, so I imagine, probably nothing because they're a bunch of nothing anyway. I mean, they wouldn't. I don't think they'd dare come in my face because, that didn't sound right. It didn't sound right. Come to my face, not the other way around. So yeah, they'll just act like they don't see us like they did last time. So that was pretty stupid. Patrick says, Todd, I really got a dark joke for you. I brought my blind friend a cheese grater for his birthday. He later told me it was the most violent book he ever read. Stupid. JL says, if Yachty gets the Cardinal job next year, the Angels should try to get him if he doesn't get him. When Bud lost his job and the third base coach became manager, Clint Hurl became bench coach. Okay, that's good to know, JL. I didn't know that on there. Artie, not Moreno, says all we really need is for Rendon to make a return to get us beyond 500. Yeah, that's what we're all ready to go for. I think that's what's going to happen. Andrew says Super Halo brother probably share a bowling ball. They were peddling shirts last year, and I swear to God, the one with like no hair was like, do I know you? Like, your name is? I'm like, oh, you asshole. You know exactly who we are. We talked to you guys before, and that's when he grandstanded me for the last time, and that's when I told his brother, it's like, I was nice to him there, but I was like, dude, like, you guys, and I gave him one last chance after that with the whole charity event that they ghosted us on. I'm like, all right, cool, man. You guys told us yes, and just to ghost us. All right. Got you, man. Got you. Also, Tyler said they'd show up only if it was a hoppy pillow fight. Eric Ward says it's pretty. Where is it? Hold on. It's not. Why is it not? Oh, there we go. It's pretty sad when my 11-year-old heard Gavin and he just shook his head and said he sucks. Demetrius says, "Come in my face, bro." How about Boone after the Yankees fire him? Didn't they just extend him? Also, wild to jump in the first inning. I heard sound sus. Bardo. Also, locked on your first listen in the morning. Son, how do stars die, dad, and overdose usually? Damn, it sucks. Already not Moreno. Laughed my ass off. Yes, it was a man. I'm telling you, going back to it though, we do have information on that too. The link is up if you guys want it, or if you guys want to get that information from me, I can email it over to you. The link, you could play on the Heedy bowling thing on September 7th, and you could be on our team. We need a few more people, about 3 or 4 more people to join us for that charity event. 20% off by putting HITI. For that, you get a free shirt, plus you get a free hat from us, and you also get an autograph from Logan O'Hoppe, personalized for you. You get to mingle with the players there. You could bring your family too to hang out, even if they're not playing. They can come down and hang with us on our team. So I'm just giving you guys and gals a heads up. There's only 6 spots left. So if you want to, it will be awesome to have you guys down there bowling. I'm I'm not too bad myself. So if you guys want to come down and hang out with us at Fountain Valley, it's $135 on the link, but you can get 20% off. So it could go down as low as I think 110. So that gets you everything. Just food is separate. I would love to what do you call it? Provide the food too, but that's not totally my event. I'm just in with the event guy, Dan. So he sets up all that charity stuff. So it's for a very good cause for underprivileged kids in the Orange County area to have after school programs to stay out of trouble. So, yeah, if you guys can and want to come down and participate, I'd love to have you on our team. It would be very, very fun to bowl and kick their ass, because I know they're going to be there. They fielded a team or two last year as well. So I want to do the same thing and get that going. So it should be fun. What a name right here. On X, or not X, on TikTok says, what's going to be the team in the division to take out the Cheatstros? It would have been the Mariners. I just don't think they have enough offense. As much as they get these veterans, you think they're going to be good enough. The Rangers have been a very big disappointment. I think we're going to have to wait another year before the Astros get dethroned. I really do. It's not going to happen this year. It's going to be the Astros division. And it's a weak division again. Last year they won it with friggin' 86 wins. And they're going to do it with, I think, 89 this year. You know, it's not going to be a great jump. So, also you have Artie Moreno eats the whole toilet bowl full of nachos. EQ says, are you going tomorrow? No, I'm not. I'm actually going to miss tomorrow, but I am going to have some friends pick up some bobbleheads. So, and then you got, let's see, I heard Locked on Cox for the first time yesterday. I was laughing my ass off. Also, Eric Ward says, that one dude, John, I think needs to shave it all off. Let it go, bro. You'll feel a lot better. Same thing. I mean, if he was cool with me, I'd tell him the same thing. It's like, man, I had my long hair. It started to recede. And once I got that upside down fade, I'm like, you know what? It really is time to shave it. And I did. So, never look back. And you know, I tried some of those hair restoration shit, and it doesn't work unless you got some big time money. It doesn't work. And even if you're LeBron James, that dude has big time money. You can't tell me he's going to some rinky dinky jinky place to refill his follicles, and it's still not working. He's still clearly balding. So if that fool can't get it right, why should I be wasting money on it? Tyler says, it's funny how they didn't know you, but if any of us saw Nut Boy, we'd tell him how famous he is on the channel. Hell yeah. Speaking of Nut Boy, what's he up to on the show today?
Crazy. Hello, Halo Nation. Hello, Halo hopefuls, and welcome back. What's going on, everybody? My name is Gavin Carlson. Don't get it twisted. You've probably heard of Viagra or Cialis. It's hard. It's hard. Oh, man, it feels great. Oh, yummy. Oh, how about a yummy? Oh, come on. Magic. Oh, my goodness. Guys, tasting nut.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Artie says, I'm sure Artie is on one of those files the government isn't releasing. If he was, that would be amazing. Not John, Mike, I meant. There you go. Who cares what their names are at this point? Artie jacks off to our tears. Andrew says Astros have been the best record in the AL. Crazy. They keep winning, dude. They have just enough and the right culture. We interviewed Ty Buttrey, if you remember that guy. Actually, Fernando did. And Ty Buttrey is a friend of the show. And he played with the Angels, the Red Sox, the Astros. And he talked about playing with the Angels. He said the Astros, they beat it into your head on how important it is to win and to have a winning culture, a winning mindset. And that makes sense. He says they push you, and his numbers with the Astros were good in the minors. And had he had those numbers with the Angels, he would have been brought up to the team and given every opportunity. He had those numbers with the Astros, and they were like, it's good, but you could be better, and you should be better. And they released him. So that sucks. But Ty Buttrey, you know, like he just said, the difference between the Angels and the Astros is the Astros have camaraderie. They have a culture. They have everything. And he said the Angels are laid back. They're fun, but it's depressing to see a lot of turnover and they just don't have that winning culture. So Imagine says umps versus Angels today. That was part of it. El Bardo says, been a while since I've been stuck 3 fingers simultaneously in something. Might just pull up bowling. El Bardo, come on down, man. Again, if you want the link, hit me up. Hit me up on Halos in the Infield podcast at yahoo.com, and I will send you the link and give you the 20% discount. Again, you guys and gals will get a shirt and a hat. You can bring your family or friends. There's going to be Angels past players and present players there. So last year it was Logan O'Hoppe, and it was what's his name that went to Moniac. But there's going to be other players there, I've been told, because it's September 7th. O'Hoppe last year had a hard time getting players because it was after the season. But he's going to have more players there this year because it'll still be at the end of the season. So it'll be a Sunday after their game. I think they're going to be off that following Monday, so that's why they're going to be there. So again, it'll be a Sunday. You'll have past and present players there and announcers and whatnot. There's going to be, I think for sure, there's going to be Gooby. There's going to be Langston. There's going to be, what's her name? Why are names escaping me tonight? Erica Weston. So there's going to be a lot of people there. Eric says, if Gavin shows up, I think we'd be walking from lane to lane telling everyone in earshot he's a former credentialed journalist until he had to move in with his mom and dad. Martinez says, what are we talking about here? We're talking about the bowling event September 7th for the Angels. They're going to have past and former players. It's the O'Hoppe event. If you want to be part of our team, Halos in the Infield, we need 2 teams together. So we still have 6 spots left. We've got 2 filled already. And again, the package is a 20% discount. It all goes to charity. Swole says, where do you buy tickets? Again, hit me up at Halos in the Infield at yahoo.com or Halos in the Infield podcast at yahoo.com. That's my official, email for here, and I will send you the link. And again, you get a free shirt from us, a free hat, plus you get an autograph personalized by Logan O'Hoppe. He'll be right there shaking your hand because he'll come down the aisle with us. Other players will be there. Former players will be there. Announcers will be there. And if you buy part of the package, you can bring your family if you're on the team with us and sit with us. And then, and then we just don't have the food, but you could play, you can bowl with us for about 2 to 3 hours because it's about a 4-hour event. There's going to be a little speech before and after. It's a charity fundraiser for kids to stay off the streets in the OC by the YMCA. So it's a good event for a good cause. They're raising money to help out underprivileged youth, and it's going to be cool. So if you guys and gals can come down, it should be really fun. And you'll be able to bowl with Halos in the Infield, and then hopefully laugh at Gavin and the other guys that are there. Hopefully Gavin's there. Things really started going downhill when Shonawell shaved his beard and stash. Also, shaved head is a good look. Chris says LeBron had hair plugs falling out on the court, and Anthony Davis was picking them up for him. Exactly. Balls, and more balls. Yep, a couple years back right there. Bardo, you wildin'. Mike Trout says, who is a better manager after Mike Socha's? Osmus, Madden, Nevin, Ron, or Ray? If I had to pick one, I have to say Madden because he had the best chance at things. Osmus never really had a chance. He was a go-between. Nevin was there a year too long. And Ron was not Ron Washington from Texas or from anywhere else because he had the heart issue. And so far, I'm not too impressed with Ray. Other than he's got the hitter's patient. Other than that, he's just not good. Also, this team is so bad to just put us on an ad of blind date. They all sucked right there. Also, Tyler says, what a contrast. Astros instill winning. Halos get pregame Chick-fil-A. What the fuck? Big Red says, next thing you know, women's baseball will be bigger than Angels baseball. The Bananas are already there. Victor Rojas. Beetle says, as long as Roger Rabbit Lodge isn't there, we should be good. I don't think he's going to be there. So it's a Sunday. He's going to be doing other things than showing up for charity events. I can't stand that guy. Although if he's there, you best believe I'm gonna get an interview with him, because I'm gonna try to get him to say, "You're listening to Halos in the Infield," and there is.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
Patrick says, Todd, you should really go to the charity event dressed as a clown. I don't want to get kicked out. I actually have to go in whiteface, literally my face, because if I go in the clown stuff, they're going to know I'm going to be up to no good. And I will be a dick, because in the clown outfit, I get more of an ego, and I go out there and I try to just be more in your face. So I could be Homie the Clown. I could be very offensive. So I like to push the envelope when I'm in the outfit. I wonder if Erica would. No, I won't go as a G-string either. Andrew says, "Fuck it, bring Erstad in as manager." I'd do that. Man, you guys are bad. I'm not even going to read those. Tyler says, "Credentials are for bootlicking housemen. Todd is not that." Thank you, sir. I am sure as hell not a bootlicking houseman. I keep it real.
Call me a bootlicking houseman all you want. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, he doesn't give a damn if you call him a bootlicking houseman. But certain guys like to be called
on
that.
Everybody, my name is Gavin Carlson, former credential journalist in the LA area. How about a yummy tasting nut?
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Ray is not it. Pujols, Torrey would be an improvement. I wish they would be, and wish they'd become legit managers for the team. You should have those sounds on hand in case Roger is there, so you can hear the. I will, dude, at some point. And speaking of, if you haven't heard this one, Artie Not Moreno, this is probably one of Grill Master's favorite, which he's a regular on the show, so I like to play this one. It's a montage of him.
Let me tell you something about my guy, John Stamos. So I was able to go in the back bedroom and unscrew the old
Balls and running up my butt right now.
You get out of it what you put into it. John Stamos
Choked on me.
He was so great.
Oh, I like that clip. I thought that clip of Nut Boy's dad walking in was at first. Oh, you want to see that one? Might as well. In a loss, we need some sort of comedy. So let's have Nut Boy in his basement with his father coming in to say hi.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Gavin Carlson, former credential journalist in the LA area. How about a yummy tasting nut? You guys are crazy. Hello, Halo Nation. Hello, Halo hopefuls, and welcome back. What's going on, everybody? My name is Gavin Carlson. Don't get it twisted. You've probably heard of Viagra or Cialis. It's hard. It's hard. Oh, man, it feels great. Oh, yummy. Oh, how about a yummy? Oh, magic. Oh, my goodness. Come on. Tasting nut. Guys.
Yep, that's what happens on that show. Roger would show up if Stamos was there. That's just true. Patrick said, I'm just imagining it right now. Show up at the charity event for kids, and Todd shows up in a clown scaring the shit out of the kids. The cherry on the top would be wearing Heedy Sell the Team shirt. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, dude. If I showed up like that, dude, oh my God. I swear to God, dude, I would be booted out of any kind of Angels forum. But I do scare kids and adults when I'm the clown at the stadium, but I do make some happy because I give away stickers and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it is. Juan says, "Is that Locked On Angels?" It sure is. Sammy says, "Huge series coming up. This is a make or break." I'd say it's broken. I mean, it's already breaking, and it's gonna be broken literally if they lose more than half those games. I mean, again, I think Grillmaster said if they go 9-4 or 8-5, that'd be a success. I agree, but do you really see this team going 8-5 with them having an opportunity to say, hey, you know what? We're gonna start some relievers in this game. They're not gonna win any of those games. So again, I don't see them doing good in this homestand. Unless I want to be proven wrong. I really do. Because nobody in the American League is running away with that wild card, and there's just a bunch of mediocre ass teams, and we're one of them. So if we can actually step up and put a winning streak together, like say for instance they win 7 or 8 in a row, you realize they'd be like right there, like tied for the last wild card spot, or at least a game out. But do they have another one in them like that? I don't know. Like seriously, watch what Trouty does. I hope you're right, Sammy. I really do. I don't root against this team, believe me, because if I did, I wouldn't be passionate about them, and I wouldn't put in the time and effort that I do about them. And Dan wants me to tell you,
There's a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight, which makes me so horny and me love you long time.
Also, Grillmaster says Todd scares kids for sure. Mike Trout says we need more people like you, Todd. Also, let's see. He choked on me. Demetrios said, "Oh, Demetrios talking to Chris." Also, Beetle says, "Imagine showing up in the clown deal plus Borat style bikini." Boy, I would be arrested. I really would. But he was so pissed when his dad walked in. Hell yeah. A Big Red says, hot take. I know it's insane. I might be hanged for it, but do we drop Trout to triple it? No, there's no way. No way. That's not going to happen. Grillmaster says we're going 5-8 on the homestand. Yeah, he'd have to clear waivers right there. Also, Tyler says, I'm afraid Todd would make the Locked On crew wet if he showed up like that. They'd be like, hey, is anyone else moist over here? Is anyone moist? Are you moist, Mike? No, I'm flowing like a river though. And then John would be like, I'm moist. Also, we're going back home. Trouty is going to put this team right on his back and lead us to the wild card. Boy, Sammy, how much money you got on that? I will take any kind of action you want to put on the table with that. Also, Patrick says you would be kicked out, but you would be solidified as an absolute legend. I hope so. I would want to make that what is it called? Go viral for sure. Start Chris Taylor. You gotta get him back. So play him. Is Gavin like 17? No, he's like 24, dude. Like he's not a kid. We already played that soundbite grill. Also, winning 7 and 8 in a row would mean they would get over 500. So not happening, boss. Billy's like, wait a minute, you had actual faith? Let me shoot that down. But he's not wrong. He's not wrong. I'm sorry, Sammy, dude. Again, dude, I don't want to hate on the guy. I want him to be the man, but he hasn't been, man. Like when we really need that hit to help this team. Like let me tell you this, Sammy. He's had 6 or 7 games where if he had come through with a hit in half of those, or maybe even all of them, they'd be in that first wild card. Or if he came through in just 3 or 4, it could have set the tone. Other players would be like, I want to be like that guy. See, that's the Mike Trout we love. That kind of thing. I've played on teams where a guy is just so good, players want to emulate him. Players want to be like him. They want to try to match his. Look, I played with a couple guys that literally they didn't have to lead with their mouth. They led with their play. They led with their training. They led with their practice. They led with the way that, man, you just wanted to copy them. You want to emulate them. You wanted them to high five you, to acknowledge you, and to be like, all right, man, good shit, kid. You know what I mean? Like that's what you wanted. And again, Trout can be that guy, but Trout's got to perform. You just can't be living off of your past. And I get it. He's got a high OPS, but look how much time he's missed. I get it. He can get hits during the early parts of the game, but what does he do late? And again, we're not talking about we need his leadership in the outfield. Fuck it. You can't use him in the outfield. We can't use him in the outfield. But he's got to be more ferocious with the bat. He's got to catch up to that fastball. He's got to be able to put the ball in play more. So again, I am not arguing his past. I'm not arguing his Hall of Fame status at all. I just would like for him to be more of a staple on this team because, again, you're getting to a point where first base is open and they rather pitch to him. You understand? Like get it? Like he's not feared like he used to be. He is by far our best player, but not by much, Sammy. Not by much. There's going to be a time when you're going to get Neto, when you're going to get possibly Ohapi, Christian Moore. Adele is very close. Hell, Taylor Ward at this point is very close. So again, he's not far and away our best player. He's our best player, but man, those guys are knocking on the door. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Sammy says, I'm sorry, but nobody on our team is anywhere close to Mike Trout level. And that's fine, dude. Like, numbers don't lie, man. And I get it. He's got that high on base percentage and whatnot. But where are his numbers as far as he leading the team in home runs? Is he leading the team in RBIs? Is he leading the team in average? No. If he was, I think it would be, you'd have an argument. You really would. I just don't see one like that. And it's okay, man. I mean, I get it, dude. That guy's a great player, Hall of Famer, not taking anything away. But you got to call a spade at this part. And this is, and Sammy says, brother, he hasn't played more than any of those guys. I understand that. That's what I'm saying. Like, to be a leader, my man. I don't know if have you played baseball before on a team, any kind of like travel ball? Have you played high school ball? Have you played semi-pro? Like, have you played professional? Like there's something to a player who's on the field religiously. There's something about a guy who has a regimen that you come into. Let's see, I played college ball for Johnson and Wells University. Okay. So then, Sammy, if you have teammates that aren't performing, that used to be good maybe last year as a freshman or a sophomore or whatever, right? But they're not performing as a junior year. Do they get a pass? Do you automatically put them in the number 3 hole and say, okay, we're going to put you in the number 3 hole because of what you've done over your career? We're going to, and if that hitter continues to bat 152, you've seen that the fact that his numbers are way down. You've seen the fact that he's not as dependable. You've seen the fact that he's a bit injury prone. Is he still the best player on your team? No, he's lost a step, or he's just having a bad year. And that's nothing against the guy. He's trying, but he's just not up to par where he should be. But Trout's numbers are still good. Maybe he isn't what he was 6 years ago, but he's still performing. Yeah, I'm not saying that, Sammy. I think that's probably where we're getting crossed up. I'm not saying that he isn't a good player. I'm not saying that he's washed up. I'm not saying that, I'm taking into consideration his injury time. He's got the 18 homers, the 45 RBIs. He may be the best talented wise, but I think there's guys that are hitting the ball. The fastballs are connecting better. They're driving the ball better. They're getting more hits. They're having better at bats. So there's that, So I'm not discrediting what he's doing. I'm just saying. Josh says pinch hit for Trout in the clutch. Mike Trout says Gavin saying Angels are sweeping Seattle and tasting nuts. Alfonso says these bullpen games are killing this team in more ways than one. Any starter is better than killing the pen. Tyler says we all know Halo Joe likes the word moist. El Bardo says they'd be like, did anyone bring in the motherfucker hella moist over here? Mike says, let me be like Machado. I bet you I'll make contact. Moisty tasting nut, in that case, nutsack. Todd, every show you get me all fired up. Q Gavin. Also, Alfonso says Trout is playing like Roger at Stamos's house. He keeps choking. Yikes. John Boy would be all over it. Andrew says we got to bring back Jackie Autry if Halos are going to get to the playoffs. Corey says Trout is not the same player anymore. He strikes out way too much and takes pitches right down the middle. Sammy says yes, but giving Trout a full year like the rest of the guys, his numbers are definitely better. We've seen it before, Sammy. Just a few years ago, I think it was like 3 years ago, he was 40 and 80, and he missed something ridiculous like 60 games or something. He still hit 40 homers. So, yeah, we need to get him back to at least that. El Bardo says, I honestly believe that Ren Doubles was in those at bats. He would have came through. Damn. Big Red says, honestly, being an Angels fan for so long, just like you, Todd, I read all these articles about how the Angels could sell or buy at the deadline, but you and I both know that, Todd, they may not do a damn thing. And that's the thing that I'm worried about on Thursday when we do that trade deadline show. Yeah. Nice to see Tim Laker and Ray get tossed. Tim Laker shouldn't be on the bench. That's my thing. I meant Rangers, not Stros. All that talk of moisty nuts got me confused. Alfonso said 40-year-old Pujols was actually better than current Trout. Pujols swang away. Wow. Do we know when Moore's coming back? I believe that's going to be against the Rangers or the next series after that. And I think it is hopefully early August right there. Let's see. Also, Dan says, "Oh, Todd, I sent you something. My son Ricky sent me about Ohapi taking grounders at third. What say you?" He has a strong enough arm to do it. But that you can't teach a guy mid-season to play third base. I think you're just asking for errors. You're begging for teams to bunt. It's not going to be a good thing. If you want to start that in winter ball, if you want to do that in spring training, then yeah. But I that should tell you where the organization is thinking about Ohapi right now. They're probably already thinking we need another catcher. They might have just come to the same realization that they did way back in the day when Taylor Ward was drafted as a catcher. Who knows? Our best all-around player today is Neto, Alfonso says. Eric says, I would love to see Simo back this weekend and send Lamont the fuck out of here. Also, I just say, keep me at DH, Mike Trout says. Mateo checks in with, he's fat. So there's that. Wait, where is that? Hold on. I have to go back down here. I thought I had it ready.
This fat son of a bitch is going to trial us all out.
Calm down, okay? All right?
He's fat.
Trout is just one of those dudes. He's not inspiring. Also good on Monty and Laker for getting tossed. Artie says Moncada's swing on contact is a thing of beauty. He does have a pretty swing. He really does have a pretty swing. Alfonso says, I keep hearing Trout is saying, sometimes it doesn't look that way. You sit and you let a strike go through down the middle. He does look at a lot of pitches down the middle. I will give him that. Big Red says, look at 2013 Trout stance compared to now. Also, Trout just needs to go to an optometrist. Courtney says, I generally believe that Trout is a stat pattern. Whoa, he's had great moments as an Angel, but I'm tired of hearing about his individual records. This team is trash and nobody cares. And that's the thing that's gotten me. Like, I love the dude, and I know Courtney's liked him and everything else like that, but we're to the point where it's like, okay, we need someone to step up and be a leader. We need someone to be upset. And I would have preferred him to say a couple of years ago before Ohtani that, hey, man, if things don't get good for me and Ohtani, we're both going to leave. You know, we're going to leave, and I want to win. I have never heard Trout say, I want to win. I've heard him say, hey, I've talked to, like last year, he was like, I talked to management. We want to get better. We want to do this. And he was saying all the right things, but he's never said, man, we got to win or else, things are going to change. I know that they ask him every year, and he says sometimes, maybe we'll revisit this in a couple of years, but dude, you're not getting any younger. Again, I said it earlier in the show, I would love to see Trout move on to greener pastures and get a World Series, or at least get a deep run in the playoff, get to the postseason. And if it was with the Yankees, if it was with the Red Sox, I wouldn't give a shit. As long as he didn't go to the Dodgers, but he can go anywhere else, and I'd be happy for him. I really would. Even if the Angels get it together and start winning, still want them to sell, contend down the line. AA Ron says, I agree. I'm right there with you. Barto, you must be good on that stuff. If you hope you were joking. Also bring Dr. Seuss in. Bring Dr. Seuss for reading comprehension. Shut up, Chris. I have a lot of things going on right here. It's hard to read some of this stuff sometimes at a fast pace and be like, Also, Mike Trout says, I say we sign Salvador Perez next year. By the way, we brought up Quijada today. So we'll see what happens there. Alfonso says, the Angels, I really hope sell. We don't have enough. We need to add young players. Alfonso says, Ohapi's starting to take reps at third. He's athletic enough. He sure is. And he's got a skinny frame. He's not a fat catcher. I'm not thinking a new catcher. I'm thinking there's something else wrong with Mancada. Well, there is, and they've been not talking about it. The Angels Suck says Trout looks at more pitches than most people of his back that have a back condition. His rare back condition, doctor said, keep swings to a minimum to maximize the length of your career. That could be it too, man. That could be it too. And that's why he doesn't do much batting practice in pregame ever. Well, that hurts his overall, hand-eye coordination as well. Courtney is a baddie. She is. Which then tells me you're probably right about Mancada's oblique. I told you guys. I tried to tell you. But, Angels brass won't can. I was telling you it was his oblique, man. Also, we need to put a good record at the end of the season so we can get some good pitching free agents that we could sign, Gabriel says. Also, can we trade Artie for the Samuelis across the 57 freeway? I wish. Also, Dan says Samuelis would be a great owner. We'd be Anaheim. That's for damn sure. But we'd be orange. Eric says, I'd rather see Logan in right field than third. Infield skills take years to hone in on, and it's too and he's too big for a third baseman. I don't think he's too big for a third baseman because he had Troy Gloss over there. Troy Gloss was huge. But I just think that it would take too long to get him ready to go. Also, Trout can't go to the Astros, Rangers, or Smurfs. Dan says, I agree, Eric, but what other position did he play in high school? Just a thought. Also, EQ says, who did we send down for Quijada to come up? I missed that one, so I'm not sure. I missed Jared Weaver's fire and passion. That's what we are missing completely. Is anyone even doing work or basic fundamentals, Courtney says? No, they are not. Not at all. That is the problem. Trout says he is. Also, teamwork and batting or teamwork and batting practice too. LOL. Courtney, I wish this team had that kind of setup because they really don't, as far as the want to get better, the want to practice, the fundamentals. I mean, every team that you see or that I used to see when I came in and watched batting practice, even the Angels used to do it. You'd have hitters up there, not necessarily Mike Trout, but I've seen GA do it, Garrett Anderson. I've never seen Tim Salmon do it, but I've seen players come in there and either the first pitch or two from the batting, the batting, what is it called? The warm-up pitcher. The batting practice pitcher, he would throw a few pitches, but the first couple, the guys would lay down a bunt or two and try to get it up the third base side, get one up the first base side, and then they'd start taking swings. Whether it was trying to pull the ball, whether it was trying to spray it the other way, whether it was trying to hit a home run. And then the last pitch that they would take from the pitcher would be likely another bunt again. And that was forever the Angels thing. And I always saw that too with most players that would come in here from other teams. That is gone for the most part. And that sucks because that is a lost art. And it does help out. Gabriel says, do you think Bremer will pitch in the bigs this season? No, I think we'll see him in spring training for sure next year. And if all goes well, we'll see Bremer sometime by June of next year. I think we're about a year away from seeing Bremer. Let's see. Also, I think Trout pitched in high school. Also, Trout $37 million this year. Number 6, 38 actually. I'd rather see Anderson. Yeah, Kate Anderson was a guy we all wanted right there. What type of package will we get for Ward? If it depends on who we go to. If we trade him to a team that just needs a number 7 hitter, let's just say we trade him to the Padres. I think you would look at probably a starting pitcher because they do have a plethora of pitchers, and then you would also have you would probably get another probably low-ranked starting pitcher from the Padres and a reliever. I think you would have to get 3 pitchers, 3 for 1 major league ready, and 2, a good prospect and a lower end prospect, especially with the fact that he's got a year of control left. So it's not like a rental where the Padres could justify a straight up 1 for 1. I think you would have to eke out a couple more players for Ward. I really do. Kind of take a chance at one of those guys, in the lower in the minors. Alfonso says, yes, we could have won at least 5 more games if we could have bunted. Absolutely. Thank you, Artie, for the donation right there. Appreciate that. Trade Ward to the Padres or Phillies. Also, I wanted Ward to stay. He's not leaving anywhere. Yeah, I don't think he is either. I don't think the Angels are going to trade him, but he's by far the best trade piece we have. Are we buyers or sellers? It's absolutely sellers. Dan says bunting is an excellent way to follow the bat or the ball to the bat. They always did it in the 80s and 90s, and then it disappeared. I remember in 2002 and 2004, there was a couple of times we had the whole lineup hitting over 300. Absolutely. That was a good time. Can we add Trout to the rotation? Can Sean Figgin still play? No. Any updates on the softball game? I have been waiting and waiting, and it's been pushed back, and we're looking. It's almost, Courtney, like it's going to be September 6th. I'm almost assured it's going to be September 6th. I will have the details for that. I don't want it to be September, but that might be the best deal that we're going to get for the field and for the sponsorships. So I think it's going to be a day before the Ohapi charity. So you'll have food, you'll have jerseys to wear if you're on Team Heedy, and you'll be able to play a softball tournament, which if you keep winning, you're going to play at least 3 games. So it should be fun, but I just wish we had a little more heads up. It was just, we were waiting for all those damn kids to finish playing Little League on the particular field that we want, because we played there last year for a top fan rivalry event, and that was really fun, and it's a really nice field. But yeah, unfortunately, and it's a sweet deal too, because I think we're getting it for next to nothing, where we'd have to pay for the lights and everything. We're going to be under the lights too, so it's not like we're going to play a softball tournament in the heat of the day, and I didn't want it to be September 6th either, because that's an Angel home game, so you have that as well. I'll see what we got going on. I'm going to see if we can change it, but I'm almost sure it's going to be September 6th. That's kind of a bummer, but when I know some more about it, I'll let you know. Let's see. We're always going to be cooked as long as Artie is an owner. We deal well against the Mariners, and we are soft buyers at the deadline instead. It just depends, man. I mean, if they're anywhere close within 5 games or less, then can Trent Rush call in? No. Also, why don't we give Marsha a shot at cleanup? I'm sure she can go deep. Well, I'm sure you can go deep on her. That's the thing. The home plate umpire, Bacchus, should go to the shit store. Yeah, he was terrible, man. He was terrible tonight. It did not help the Angels at all.
Well, then get your shit together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your shit, so it's together. And if you gotta take it somewhere, take it somewhere, Take it to the shit store and sell it. Or put it in a shit museum. I don't care what you do. You just gotta get it together. Get your shit together.
Speaking of getting my shit together, let me find out if I can get let me see, where is it? Let me see if I can get Artie on. I'm texting Artie. Let me see. I'll bullshit for about 2 more minutes. If I can't get him on, I can't get him on, but I'm going to try to get Artie on. El Bardo sends $2. Thank you so much right there. Appreciate that. September 6th is his birthday. Hayes, happy birthday to you. That's 5 days off of mine. I'm actually September 11th. Also, Alfonso says Team Heedy would have its hands full against Team Halo Brothers and Gavin's parents. No, I think we would blow them out, seriously, because come on, have you seen those guys? Really? Have you seen those guys? Yes, Noah Hardy's been on a good one right there. Also, Rally Chris says, Angels, y'all better win this Friday for my birthday party. Since last year on my birthday, y'all buttercup my birthday. You had a 4-0 lead and lost 5-4 to the A's. Yeah, I was there for that. It's number 6 for some shit of that together shit. Also, Courtney says, it sounds like I'll be batting third and playing third for Team Heaty. Damn right. She's got an arm, dude. Courtney can fucking play. So I'm excited because last year when we had a softball game, she couldn't play because she was rehabbing that knee, I believe. But man, oh man, she gets out there and she's got a pretty swing. She could pull that ball deep to right field and put it over your head, that's for sure, or over the fence. And but she could slap the ball too, so you have to watch out. She can hit it to the gap, and she plays good defense. So I'm looking forward to that. You best believe she's drafted to our team. Damn right. I ain't gonna let her go free agent. Mike Trout says Gavin said he's the next Julio Rodriguez. Yeah, right. Artie says, wow, you had me like that. Oh, Bardo. Andrew also says Roger probably will go to the bowling event because the balls, and balls. Yeah, he loves those balls, man. There's no doubt about it. He's a bootlicking house man. He doesn't care first.
Call me a bootlicking houseman all you want. I don't give a damn.
Time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
Mateo says Angels will lose on Friday. I'll hit second for Team Hitty. Also, Grillmaster says Angels look to snap that 11-game losing streak on my birthday, August 23rd. The Cubs, God help me. Also, Todd, we'll see you at the game August 1st. Yes, I will be there. Also, Mateo, be positive. Manny says, do you need a second baseman? Well, Manny, come on down then. Yeah, well, we're going to put the bat signal out there once I get the date, and we'll put together a really good team. So, yes, if you guys can play some softball, hell yeah, guys and gals, we want the best of the best to come out here for Heaty. Yeah, September 11th is my birthday, believe it or not. Gavin says, Mateo, don't put that negativity on me Friday. EQ says, let me go 9-hole. I'll bunt. Rally Chris says, Mike Trout, meet you Friday for my birthday. Gavin is, that's my, God damn it, why didn't I phone on? I thought I turned it down. I'm doing a Gavin right now. Gavin is actual squid. El Bardo says, I'll DH, been hitting the batting cages since 2018. You can do that too, man. Also, I'll start training, bro. There you go, Manny. Mateo says, do you need an announcer? I will have the sound equipment there. I was figuring, because what I want to do for our team at least is have walk-up music. So I want to write down everyone's favorite song, and then we'll have the batting order, and then we'll have it queued up on Spotify or something. We'll make a little list, and we'll play up. We'll, have that big-ass speaker. I actually have 2 big-ass speakers. I could bring my mixer, and then I could have someone on the mic and just do an announcement, play the music. And at least for our team, it'll be legit. You know what I'm saying? And then we could play music in between the innings and stuff. So it should be fun. We did that a couple years back and went off pretty good. Everyone had a good time. I'll have my friend come down that runs a restaurant, and he'll make up some food for us. So it should be a fun time. So again, if you want to get in on that, email me too when the time is right. I'll send out the link and everything. Todd, you should do some Angels trivia just for fun. You know what? I'll do some on the next show. I'm not getting a response from Artie, so I was promised he'll be on there soon, but it's not going to be. No, I'm not getting anything from him. He's probably busy tonight, but I was promised an Artie return here soon, so we'll have that. Stick to 96 to 2016. Manny says, I'm 100% certain if you ask Gooby, he'll show up and be like, hey, great lunch, Angle, Papa Fox. Yeah, I'm sure. Tell us about 2001 ambush. Todd walk up with a yummy tasting nut. Oh, that'd be hilarious. Artie is chocolate wasted at this time. Yes, he is. Saucy says that was the nail in the coffin for a season, barring a miracle homestand. So maddening. All these games were winnable. They actually were. So I'll tell you real quick, Ambush, since you asked, and I'll get the trivia for you next time, Demetrio. Remind me. I'll have some stuff set up for the next show. So real quick, 2001, I was working graveyard at the time. I was depressed. Okay. First off, my minor league career was over, and I came back home, and I was working graveyard at a freaking brake company. I'm making brakes, molded brakes with those heat presses. And I'm working graveyard because I had to quit playing minor league baseball. And freaking the morning crew came in. It was 6 a.m. here, so it was like 9 o'clock there. And so it was like 6:10 or something like that. And I'm like, damn, dude, these guys aren't here yet. It's supposed to be like 6:30. I'm supposed to be able to, get out of here. And I played for Pittsburgh jail. So I came home, or no, I didn't come home. I was working on the press. The guys and gals were coming into the factory, and they all had pale faces. It didn't matter if they were white, black, or Mexican. They all had pale faces. They looked scared, and they looked disorganized, and they didn't want to work. So first thing I asked a couple of them was, "Hey, man, what's going on?" And they're like, "Man, there's a couple planes missing. They're bombing New York." I'm like, "The fuck's going on?" And back then, it's like there's the flip phones. I don't even think I had a. Yeah, I don't think the cell phones were around that much, or they were like flip phones, very bad phones. So it's not like you could see video real time. You couldn't look at live stuff. There was no updates. So it's like the first thing I did was, like, I lived like 10 minutes from the house. I got in my car real quick and I raced home and I turned on the news, and then it was just everywhere. And so I had worked all night from like 10 at night till like it was like 6:30 in the morning. And I didn't sleep for another day and a half. I was glued to the goddamn TV till I passed out. So, I mean, it was crazy. 2001. I mean, man, I didn't know. I didn't know what was going to happen next. So it was a scary ass time to be alive. It really was. It was scary because, when your parents tell you, oh, like my dad, like, yeah, the Vietnam War was crazy. And, he talks about like being, because he was after the World War II. My dad's old. He's like 82 now. So he's born in 43. So he's like, he's like one of those wartime babies. But he would talk about some crazy stuff that happened, the LA riots and all that other junk. But man, the 2001 was crazy. It was crazy. So long story short, I was going to go out with some friends to the bar, and officially drink for the first time. And yeah, it didn't happen. Let's just say everything was canceled. And I really have never I've never looked at a birthday or celebrated a birthday. And it was funny because my stepson, who I consider a son now, but like when I first hooked up with his mom, she was like, hey, what are we going to do for your birthday? I'm like, I don't really celebrate at all. Like, there's been no reason to. Like, every time my birthday rolls around, it's a sad day. Everyone's in mourning and thinking about what happened. There's specials about what happened. So it's like, I don't even think about it anymore. But they were the first time to get me to celebrate was a couple years back. Like they were like, come on, you got to celebrate. I'm like, I guess. Still didn't feel right. It still didn't feel right at all. Let's see. Beetle says, I play first base and third base, and I just came to hit dingers. Well, hey, if you're that good, come up, my man. We'll play. Let's see. Also, Grillmaster says, Trout, I needed you to have bigger moments. Step up tomorrow for the weekend. JL says, I was at the Darby Fire up north, then went on vacation. 9/11, we were on a plane. Damn, JL, that's scary. Yeah, that's scary. And it took me too. Like, I loved flying up to Seattle to visit my family and go up there and see games. Man, I didn't go on a plane for a good, I want to say 8 years. No, 9 years. Yeah, I went 9 years later, and I was scared as funk to take the plane. I was driving up there, driving for a good friggin' 26 hours because or not, no. It was 18 hours, 18-hour drive up to Seattle. And I was like, yeah, I'd rather drive than take a 2-hour flight. I was so scared. Andrew also says, it's not time to quit. It's time to swing away. Ambush says, your dad was a legit baby boomer. He was. He was. JL says, can't let them win. Yeah, I did for a while. I was scared. No lie. I was scared because a guy who like really didn't care about flying before, when that happened, that just took the fun out of everything. But it's different now. It's different now. That's for damn sure. The world, something else will make the world change at some point too. There's always a big, every generation has that big moment that happens, you know. So hopefully it's not too terrible. I hate saying that, but fuck, man, who knows nowadays? Let's see. Also, that's he's talking to Trout. I'm scared to fly now with everything that's happening on planes. Let's see, Todd. How far do you drive as a trucker? I'm local, but I used to drive pretty far. I used to go down to Calexico. Yeah, I've done an array of things. Believe me, I love to be showing you my game worn Angel jerseys and signed contracts. Fuck yeah. But I had to give that all up, man. When you have responsibilities, and you have kids that were on the way, it's like, dude, I had to come home. The minor league money wasn't paying. It wasn't paying. So it is what it is, man. You had a dream. You blew it. You blew it, kid. So that's why I think I'm passionate about baseball, because I want these kids to succeed. JL says, I want the 80s and 90s back, or the 80s back. I want the 90s back. I love the 90s, man. But I tell you what, the clothes are coming back. I love the baggy clothes. Love that look. Gabriel says, earlier this year, there was a bunch of plane accidents. Yeah, very scary. And I think that one that they're not willing to say in, was that Egypt or Turkey or something? That dude committed suicide and took out the entire freaking plane. Everybody like took 200 people with him. That's fucked up. Like that makes me say, man, I wish, like I'd rather have robots with no conscience, with no what is it called? No skin in the game, to where they could just say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna take everybody out with me, go out in a blaze of glory. Don't. I've always said it like privately, like man, if you're gonna do, like, I don't condone suicide. Obviously, I don't want anyone to do it, but I just can't stand the fuckers that take their families out, or take a friend, or shoot up the place just to get killed by the cops. It's like, man, if your life sucks that much, just take yourself out and leave the rest alone. I hate when they take collateral damage, man. It sucks for those poor innocent people. It's so sad. Geez, this one went everywhere today. Sorry about that. It went off kilter there. JL says, do you drive a semi now? No. Right now I just do like those big 24 footers, the box trucks. I don't do the big rigs no more. It's easier for me, and I usually work Lake Forest, Laguna Hills, Tustin, and Irvine. So I'm around the Anaheim area. I'm around Angel Stadium, at least on the way back. So yeah, the Malaysia flight, I think that's what happened too, right there. I don't believe that dude came out of the crash, by the way, Trout. I think that was just someone trying to be popular, because everyone else cooked. I mean, I don't see how he made it out. The engines turned off. Yeah, that was wrong. Also, the Archangel says, my first job in high school was for Johnson & Johnson. Is that why all the baby oil references, Archangel? I mean, because always wanted to ask you, do you got a favorite card in your background? Like you can't see it because of close-ups, but this entire wall right here is all Angels. It's like pure Angels from like the last 5 years to 20 years. I got some that are from the 80s, and then you got below it, it's like the Mariners and Athletics, and it goes division. You got the Rangers. I have some up on over here that are like they're like miscellaneous twins. I got them kind of all by teams, and then they go that way, and then I'm supposed to finish the wall with the rest. And then on the outside of the studio, it's all football and basketball cards, and those are all 80s and 90s. Like your Sean Kemps, they're your Fleer, your NBA hoops, your pro set football, your Upper Deck. These are mostly tops, and I got Donruss. I got all the old school ones, like there's Nolan Ryan, there's scorecards, Upper Deck baseball. It's a little bit of everything, but these are more of the newer cards. I do like the Montreal Expos Vladimir Guerrero rated rookie card that I have. I have a Mark McGuire, the the famous, I think it's the Donruss one with or it's a Topps with the wood background. Rated rookie. I got Wally Joyner because I started collecting in the 80s, and then I don't know. I just have an array of cards. Like my best cards are like in a folder, but I do have doubles. So some people get mad at me when they come here because they're like, "Why the fuck do you have such good cards on the wall?" And it's because, well, I got doubles. Like I have like an Ohtani rookie one. I just have like an array of cards over the years I've kept. Harold Baines, Kirby Puckett, just on and on and on. I have all the players, Oral Hershiser. Yeah, dude, and then the football cards, I got a gang of those too, like Joe Montana's, like all those stuff. I got all the old school ones, man, and then I got them all over the damn studio. And they get mad because I had a card collector one. He was like, "Damn it, dude, I'm like wanting to pull out my hair because like how do you put these up on the wall?" Like he goes, "I thought it was wallpaper." I'm like, "No, I do each card individually. I just use that the glue gun, and I glued them to the wall, and I went all the way around. And when I started with a few, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna put the whole thing up there, and I did. So I was like, I don't value them like I used to, because I used to be that nerdy kid that when I was younger, it was in the comic book store, and I had the baseball cards, football cards, basketball cards, not too much the hockey. And then I'd be reading comics too. So I'd be hanging out there. If I wasn't skateboarding, I was playing baseball. So that was my summertime. That was my out of school type thing. So that's why I was when I was little. There's one McGuire and a team in a USA uniform. I don't have that one, JL. I don't have that one with a USA uniform. But I don't know if that was college or it was before or minor leagues when he played for Team USA. But no, I don't have that one. Yes, the show is still going. Sorry, we're talking, Grill. Sorry to wake you up. Does Todd have a Shonable card? Yes, I do have a Shonable card. The newer ones are right there, and then I got some right here. Like I kept this one for the hell of it. So I have like a number 6. That's a newer one, number 6. And then like these are from the newer collection of Topps, like from last year. There's a Trout, and then here's a Soriano. And then here's another number 6. I didn't put him on the wall. There's no number 6. And then I have old school cards like this one too, just lying around. The old Dan Marino Pro Set. I love Pro Set. I love that one. That was a cool ass card collection. So there you go. Let's see. Tamir 20 says, fuck that umpire, and the team should have gone after Diaz after he hit Taylor in the head. Again, this team doesn't fight for their guys. They don't fight for their guys at all. Dude, don't glue gun Nolan Ryan. I did one of them, and it's a Donruss, and it's a painted picture of him. So it's not the real picture of Nolan Ryan, but it is a Nolan Ryan card. But it's a special edition 89 card. So I do have I did glue gun that one. But I do have a Nolan Ryan. Don't have him as an Angel, but have him as a couple as a Ranger. So sorry about that. Any autograph cards? No, I never got my cards autographed. Never was that guy. Never. And yes, I think everyone's seen the CEO right there. Also, we need to get a couple of fights, and that's the thing too. The Angels need a backbone, and they don't have it. So you've seen our players get hit left and right, and we do absolutely nothing to show that we have a backbone. And I think that's why teams take advantage of us all over the place. So it's been a fun night, but I won't be here. Maybe that's why I'm making up for it tomorrow. I won't be on the podcast tomorrow on the post-game show, but my boy Rob is, so please support him tomorrow. If you have any questions about the Logan O'Hoppe thing on September 7th, and you want to bowl with us, and again, get that hat, get that shirt, get the autograph, and hang out with us, bring your family, and bowl with us for over 2 hours. It's going to be 2 hours of cosmic bowling. Hit me up at Halos in the Infield Halos in the Infield podcast at yahoo.com. So Halos in the Infield podcast at yahoo.com. If you're a good bowler, we need a couple more of you guys and gals out there to hang out with us. Do you have any Andrew Velasquez cards? Throw that shit in the garbage. There actually is one on the wall right there. I have it on the wall. I have as much as I hate that douche, I have him on the wall. There is a Squid jersey right there. Squid card. I like your fitted hat, by the way. It's clean. Thank you so much. This is a copper edition of the Angels. It's pretty good. Maybe I can't do the Trent Rush right now. My throat's kind of bothering me. I've been on here for almost 2 hours. Let's see. Also, teams see them drop the soap and take advantage. They do. And again, last thing on that, the next fight we get into is going to be the best fight, because I think it's going to be a lot of pent up frustration for some of the vets that have been on this team for a few years. Not Mike Trout, but other guys that need to get the anger out. Seriously. I got them all, dude. I got them all. Gabriel says I gave my brother a Rendon jersey his first year on the team. Dude, my girl bought her brother one too, and that was his favorite player when he came over here. So, how we learn. Everybody, thank you for being on the chat. It's been nice talking to you all tonight. As always, we love taking our shots at the other podcasts, but we love this podcast best because it's the most realist. It's the most funnest. I'm making up words now, and it's exciting. It's the most interactive podcast and post game out there. And it's all because of you. And I love the fact that us fans can high five each other at stands, because that's where we're at, man. We're fans, and just like you, we come to the games, everybody on this network, and we enjoy watching baseball games and chilling. So we will be there, JL, this homestand. I won't be there tomorrow, but I'll be there the rest of the homestand for sure. So come on by to 260. Again, it's not hard to find us, because it's not like I'm sitting in 260 next to you have to come down the stairs and look in the aisles or whatever. We're sitting at the very fucking top. And as you walk by the Modelo thing, we're right next to the cameraman. So you'll see us right there. I heard the Halo brothers are a couple. It wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me at all. All right, everybody, have a good rest of your night. It's 11:18 already. We'll see you tomorrow. You guys won't see me tomorrow. I'll see you Friday. See you guys and gals Friday. Go Angels. No shit over Disneyland tonight, bro. We lost. I'll play you out with this.
Oh no! What happened? Oh no! How terrible! That's just awful. How terrible! Oh no!
And a little bit of this.
Oh my God!
All right, that's about it.